At this point, it's an embarrassment. It's embarrassing to be a fan of this team. And the Celtics were down 2-1 in this series. Everyone knew last night was a must-win. And all joking aside from the common cliches, oh, is it a must-win? Is this a must-win? And obviously it's not a must-win until the series is over. Last night was an absolute must-win. And the reason it was a must-win is, number one, the Bucks are really good. So to beat a team like the Bucks 3 in a row is very difficult. But the real reason it was a must-win is because the Celtics have been so inconsistent all season long. And if they went back down 3-1 and had to win 3 games, 2 out of 3 on the road against a good Milwaukee Bucks team, and to put it together consistently after not playing well, there's just no chance. And the Celtics had to play their best basketball last night against the Bucks, and it didn't happen. And from a Celtics fan perspective, that was as mad as I've probably ever been about the team since I've been a fan. The last time I was that upset watching a game, watching my team play, was the Chicken and Beer Red Sox team. I believe it was 2011 or 2012, I forget the year. Miserable years for the Red Sox. And the reason why we were so frustrated with that Red Sox team is, number one, they had so much talent and they underachieved. But the other thing is, they just didn't have that heart, that passion that fans want to see, the character. And when you question the character, especially for a city like Boston, that is going to drive fans nuts. And Celtics fans booed last night. And they didn't boo because they're missing shots. And Chris Webber mentioned it. Well, I thought it was great on the broadcast, by the way. Because Chris Webber mentioned it from the very beginning. The Celtics were playing a little frantically in the beginning. In that if the Bucks could withstand that run, that initial energy by the Celtics, and they came out with a lot of energy, but they were playing kind of all over the place, that the Bucks could withstand that, they would win the game, and they did. And Celtics fans booed the Celtics team, which every once in a while it happens if they think they're not showing energy and effort towards the end of the game, and it was well-deserved. And from a Celtics fan perspective, as I said, it was embarrassing, it was disgusting to watch, and they've been bad during the season, so this shouldn't surprise anyone, but last night in particular was hard to watch. The reason I was optimistic about the team was because although they were inconsistent throughout the season, there were signs of things slowly coming together. But right back to, they're down, they lose 3 in a row, and they look just like the team they have all year. And I was caught up in it. I thought the Bucks were good. I told you that I would not be surprised if the Bucks could beat the Celtics because the Celtics have been inconsistent. I wouldn't be surprised if they went one-on-one. But I didn't expect them to be this bad. I didn't expect them to be giving easy buckets at the end of games in basically the game of the season for the team. And it was just really, really frustrating. And yes, obviously, they're down 3-1. Very few teams come back from 3-1. Is it possible to come back? Sure. If the Celtics play like they're capable of, like they thought they were in the series, then yes, they could win 3 in a row. Based on what I saw last night, I'm calling it, it's over. One could say that, well, we've seen great comebacks, right? The Bruins have come down from 3-1, I believe. The Red Sox came back from 3-0. No team had done it before. So why can't this team come back? And maybe Trevor will explain his reasoning why he might be a little bit more optimistic than me and why this season isn't completely over. But from what I've seen from this group, there's no indication throughout the whole season why this team could be able to come back from behind 3-1, put it together consistently against a good team, and come back and to win the series. Not when they're playing like this. When they have it going, and the chemistry is great, and they're not taking turns and going one-on-one, and even Perk was talking about it, playing my turn basketball, which I've talked about all season, in terms of taking turns and guys not knowing the roles and taking bad shots and forcing it. And Rozier comes in, he's terrible. And Tatum's taking bad looks, even though Tatum had a decent game. But when I look at this team and I think, well, could a comeback happen? They're not like the Bruins that came back 3-1. They're not like the Red Sox in 2004. Those teams had heart. This team has no heart, which is why it's so frustrating. This is why when I look at Kyrie Irving, and he shoots, 7 for 22? Yeah, Kyrie was terrible, and if he came to play, it might have been a different result. But that's not my frustration. I don't think that's the most of the frustration for Celtics fans. I think the frustration for Celtics fans is that this team has no heart, no passion. When they get punched in the mouth that don't fight back, like the Red Sox did, like the Bruins did. They have no character. And that's at the crux of it, the frustration for me and all Celtics fans. Because at its core, Boston fans want teams that are tough, that have character, that fight back, that when things don't go well, they show heart and energy. And if the Celtics lost this series because the Bucks had too much talent, or because Celtics didn't make shots, fine. Gordon Hayward's not himself. This team thought they'd be better because Gordon Hayward should be by himself. Terry Rozier's playing terribly. Guys are playing inconsistent. And yeah, that's frustrating. But fans in Boston, and me in particular, I can't take no effort. I can't take end of games, Giannis going by guys with no help, dunking on you. That to me is inexcusable. And to me, I'm just done with the team. I'm calling it over. It's 3-1. There's no chance of coming back.